Hi, it's Amber Jones with Belle Collective Birmingham, and we are here with According to Portia.
Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Portia Monique, and today I'll be your host. And Amber, welcome. You're not only the CFO of one of the fastest growing beauty brands, you're also being introduced to the world as a power player, shaping both business and culture in Birmingham. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm very excited to dive into the strategy and the sisterhood. I
Mhm.
did get a chance to take a look at the first episode, and I thought, how refreshing! Like a real reality series that gives us the sisterhood, the everything that we need. Until I got to the end, and I was like, wait a minute. Drama, what is going on? So tell us what we can expect from Bell Collective Birmingham.
What you can expect from Belle Collective Birmingham is a collective of different individuals when it comes to powerhouses in Birmingham. We have business owners, content creators, wives, and all the different things. So I think it just shows the versatility of women in the South that, hey, we don't just have to be moms and wives, that we can be powerful business women also that still find time for sisterhood, friendship, family, fun, and all the things above.
I love that. Now, you have been described as Stormy's business soulmate, so to speak, right? And of course, that's a powerful title. What does that partnership actually look like behind the scenes when real decisions and real money are on the line?
It looks like clarity and communication. That's one of the quotes I live by. Clarity and communication builds relationships. When we're not clear and we don't communicate, it destroys them. I have a basketball athletic background, so I know how it is to fight on the court and then you come off and we're still sisters and best friends. So I look at business the same way. We have to learn, especially in our community where we don't have history in business and knowing the right way to learn business. We're just kind of learning as we grow of how to properly run business. And unfortunately for business, it's non-emotional. And so
Yeah.
that's one thing that me and Stormy try to keep, a tab on. And what I live by is that business is business and personal is personal.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, as CFO of a rapidly scaling brand like Campus Beauty, what is one financial decision that you made that you felt risky in the moment, but ultimately paid off?
I can't really talk about too much. Finances is
Okay.
touchy. So I stay away,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
finances when it comes to the company and the
Okay.
decisions.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. So we started off this conversation with, it's refreshing, the sisterhood. I see you guys really meshing together as a group and a unit. And then we got to the end and sparks were flying everywhere.
Mhm.
Where do you guys end up, specifically you and Kayla?
We end up at a place.
Okay,
We
okay,
end up
okay.
at a place. Kayla, she's a powerful woman. She does great, with her business. And, in life, we're all different people. And that's one thing that we all navigate on the show is understanding that we are all different. We were raised different. Personalities are different. And when you're coming together as a collective, things are going to happen. Just like in life, just like in sports, things are going to happen. But the goal is just to move forward and just figure out, how to get past every situation that happens.
Yeah, as I was looking at the first episode, I was like, well, maybe, it wasn't intentional. And then I kept looking and as the episode progressed, and I'm like, what is she what is she doing? Because she seems such a beautiful person, she's into her kids and whatnot. And then I'm like, is there something that we haven't seen on screen yet that can justify that type of behavior, especially quote unquote just meeting someone?
Yeah, that's something that I was trying to figure out, throughout the season because, I come from a background where, I grew up in sports, a big family, a whole lot of friends, college friends, sorority friends, business friends, to where I think Kayla just have a harder time navigating because her background is a lot different from my background. And that's one thing that I try to give her grace on, not only on the show, but in real life is that, hey, we are two different people. So on the show, you'll just see us try to, navigate, Stormy being our mutual, friend and us being two different people.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about Birmingham, right?
Okay.
Because, of course, Birmingham is being positioned as a rising hub for Black entrepreneurship. And the last time that I was there was for the NABJ conference, and that subsequently was the same time that the Birmingham Brawl happened. And And so now my memory is forever connected to the brawl, NABJ, and all of that. But aside from that, it was a beautiful, burgeoning city. And from what I've seen of it, it really was on the rise. Now, from your perspective, what does the city have that people are still underestimating?
I think people are underestimating the business part and the tech and AI. We have, Tech Birmingham. We have so many different, conferences and programs going on. We have the Birmingham Business Alliance and them coming together to build the next generation of millionaires and billionaires. So it's underestimated when it comes to real estate, how fast it's growing. We have Mountain Brook, which is one of the, richest towns, in the state and in the country. And it's just very versatile. And with Birmingham, I feel like you can get a little bit of what you need. If you want to go super fancy, you can go here. If you want to go to a hole in the wall and get you some good wings, you can do that. So I feel like Birmingham, for me, because I play basketball and I've experienced the world, and I lived overseas for 5 years playing basketball, that I've seen all the big cities, all the nice countries. And the reason why I came back to Birmingham is because it's the perfect mix. The bigger cities were, very fast. And in the country where I grew up on a farm, it's super slow. So Birmingham is the perfect mix for me, to where it's not too fast, it's not too slow. It's right in the middle of everything. So if I want to hop on a flight, I can always go. But it's just so much love and respect, I think, in the South that you don't get on the, up north or in the West Coast. It's just a different type of hospitality down here. And the people, are just great and just so loving. And that's something, being that I experienced a lot, with dealing with different people. The reason why I came back to Birmingham and chose to live here forever.
I love that. Now back to you, because you're known for being very direct. And sometimes that can rub people the wrong way, right? I'm the same way. I'm very direct. And sometimes I have to soften my message depending on who the audience is, right? And of course, not everyone can handle that. Now, has there been moments where your honesty has cost you something, and was it worth it?
Are we speaking from a show standpoint?
From a show standpoint, yeah.
Not really. Not on the show. No.
Okay. Okay. What about in real life then?
I think from a business standpoint, and I'm a mentor to a lot of people, I'm very honest. Yeah. And so, for that, I don't think it costs me anything, because most people are receptive to me being direct, and people understand that I'm direct, and I make it very known who I am when people first meet me, because the people that know and love me, I'm a very soft, loving, family person, but I'm a very serious person when it comes to business and just, standing up for what's right when it comes to relationships, because the thing that I value the most is friendships, being that I'm, not in a relationship, I'm not married. My family and my friends mean a lot to me. So I say the things that I need to say to make sure that those things stay strong.
Yeah, of course. And without giving too much away, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned in navigating conflict in both business as well as friendship?
That if you don't communicate, things will go wrong. If things are not black and white, if it's gray, that it's gonna go wrong, because that's just business. It's not personal. So it has to be black and white, or it'll go wrong. And I think that's where a lot of businesses fail, a lot of partnerships fail. I had a business partner when I first started my business, and it all comes down to clarity and communication. And that's why I'm really big at this point in my life on being clear, because when you're not clear, it creates a great line. And being clear, it may seem direct, but at least you get your point across and everyone is clear on what's going on.
Exactly. I'm sorry, what was the last part? Especially
in business.
Oh, in business, of course. And then, of course, April is Financial Literacy Awareness Month. And as a Black woman in finance, an industry that hasn't always been inclusive, what rooms did you have to create access to instead of waiting to be invited into?
I created access to financial literacy. So, I know it's not talked about on the show as much, but I have my own company. It's called Life Key Financial, where I'm the CEO of. And I've helped over 13,000 people prepare and build their credit, start their business, and save money on taxes. And I did that all within, 5 years. And I had a career ending foot injury as a basketball player. And how I started my business is my brother was in the NFL and he went to buy our mom a car and he had like a 500 credit score. And I'm like, how you have all these financial advisors and different people and your credit score is low? And that's why I started learning about credit. And that's when I realized that, hey, they don't teach us about credit in school, financial literacy. The same people that own the banks own the school system. So if everyone have good credit, the banks won't make money because of high interest rates. So that's how my business even started. I feel like God took basketball from me to bring me to my purpose. So my purpose is helping people with financial literacy. And that's what I live by. And that's what, my business does. So I came onto Canvas a year and a half ago to be the fractional CFO, but I'm definitely the boss of my own company. And I help so many other people and business owners with their finances and their credit and starting their business.
I love it, boss. Okay. And congratulations to you as well for being so successful in business as well as being a CFO of Campus Beauty. And on your show, we are expecting great things from your show. A couple of last questions and then we can get out of here. Now,
Okay.
success, of course, can look glamorous on screen, but what is a pressure and or a responsibility that you carry that viewers may not fully understand?
For me, it's navigating the balance of Canvas Beauty and Life Key Financial, my business, and also balancing the personal relationship that's going on. So I feel like I'm balancing two businesses, and I'm also balancing mixing that business, with the personal and, being on the show with the collective, meeting new girls while still maintaining that relationship and building those businesses. It's just, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So you'll just see me maintaining all that.
Okay. Now, if someone is watching you on the show and feels inspired and or could also feel intimidated, right, by your level of success and discipline, what is the first step that you tell them to take towards their own success?
I think it's to get a deep relationship with God, because when you get with God and you know who you are as a person and who you're called to be, you don't compare. With me, I walk to the beat of my own drum. I keep my eyes on my own lane, and I never stay focused on what someone else has got going on, because what we see on social media and different people, you just see their highlight reel. You don't see what's really going on. And you have to understand that a lot of those things are not real life. And the thing that I tell business owners as they are starting out, you see the glitz and glam, but you don't see the nights where we cried every single night, the nights where we lost money, gained money, lost employees, lost relationships and friendships. And just life is a battle, and you have to wake up and you have to choose. Every day you have a choice, whether you choose to be happy, choose to be positive. And that's one thing when I talk about, comparison. I did experience like a lot of jealousy and different things when I were in high school and college. And that always made me, dim my light as a person, because I love people and I care about people. And I hate when people put that judgment on me because they don't know me as a person, when all I really want is to see you win and see you happy and see you succeed. So I think the biggest thing is just to deepen, your faith and figure out who you are as a person. And when you come fulfilled that way, then everything else comes easier in life.
Oh, I love it. Spoken like a true boss lady that believes in the Lord. I love it, love it, love it. One last question for you. Why should viewers tune in?
They should tune in to see something that they've never seen before. You're going to get a good mix of business, personal, friendships, a little drama, all the two. And you get to see the behind the scenes of Canvas and the big live. So it's just to see what you see from the outskirt on social media. You get to dive deep into everyone's life.
A little bit of drama too, right?
Yeah, a little bit of drama. A little bit of drama don't hurt. It doesn't hurt. That's life.
Don't
Life
hurt.
is drama. We have family drama. We all have friends.
Yeah.
Like, no one's life is perfect. So for us to step up and put our life, to the public to see, I feel like it's a big thing, because I never pretend like I'm perfect, and just getting to open up my life to show the flaws that I have and that we have as people, I think it helps just keep us, more relatable, when all you see on the front end of social media is the highlight reel.
Exciting stuff. You guys tune in. Belle Collective Birmingham, new franchise. We cannot wait to see how the storylines play out. I love seeing successful Black women on TV that are really and truly successful. So kudos to you and the team. And we will certainly be watching on
Thank you so much,
debuts. Debuts on April
the
10th.
10th at
April 10th.
8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Are we doing a watch party? What are we doing?
My niece is currently orchestrating it now. I wasn't gonna do one, but she's like, "You gotta do something
You
for
have
family
to.
and friends." So I'm working on
Yeah.
something now.
Okay, well, we'll stay tuned because we definitely want to support. Thank
Thank
you
you so much,
again.
Portia.
I appreciate you. Take care.
Yeah. Bye bye.